right, today we have Jaydee Sheppard in the house, and she is an agent with us here at Gateway Properties. And I think it is really important with our team. I want my whole team to have an absolute pulse on the market. So staying up to date with market stats, information, all of that. And it's equally as important for our team to be able to educate clients on these areas specifically. So while it's important to know what's happening on a national macro level, even state, even general region, when you're working to either sell or purchase a property, knowing that the person that you're working with has knowledge specifically on the micro market is really important. So you live in Lincoln, you work there, you love it there. And is that the micro market that you specifically focus and study every day?
Yes. 95648 is the zip code, and that's the micro market.
Perfect. So what are you seeing right now? What is some trends or specific things that are happening in Lincoln that you're seeing right now?
So Lincoln's very unique in our area because we have homes from like $400,000 homes to $4 million and upwards homes. So we have a lot of micro markets in our micro market even. But looking at it all as a whole,
there's even Sun City, which is a whole separate micro market as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've ran some stats here on the numbers just as a whole, and then we could talk about also those micro markets. But
love it.
One of the things that we're seeing definitely is that there is a seasonal slowing that's happening. We're seeing that on less multiple offers. Certain houses are still going really quickly, but with less offers and less concessions and things like that. So then as we go up in price, things are really starting to slow down a lot. So in fact, we don't have any pending homes in Catta Verder at all.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's anything specific why there's not? Have you had any feedback from either other agents or clients on why things aren't moving as quickly as they once were in that specific subset?
Well, school started. It starts actually tomorrow in our area. John Adams, which is a big charter school in Lincoln, started last week. And so that definitely is going to halt the market in a lot of ways. And once people get settled, we usually see it pick back up. But during this time in the season, there is a little bit of a lull. Plus, it's a weird market in general. I feel like the economy, many people have different opinions about that. It's a little bit, I guess we can just, describe it as weird. Our presidential election can be described as weird. Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of weird things happening, and people just kind of, before they make a big purchase like a move, they really like other areas in their life to be pretty predictable. And so right now, we're just in this weird place in the market where it's kind of holding its breath, I guess.
Right now we have also weirdness of the NAR settlement changes it's like the biggest change in our real estate industry in like 50 years. Some people say 15 years. I think when they're saying 15 years, they're thinking of the, during the times of the
2008.
Yes, the crash that we experienced. I mean, that was pretty substantial. Our market definitely changed during that era. But as far as industry changes specifically, probably 50-year change. This is a pretty substantial chime. So I think that is affecting buyers.
Definitely. And so much miscommunication.
Tons of miscommunication.
Yeah. Sellers think that they're going to be making more money on their houses, and buyers thinking they're going to have to fork over tons of money. And to be honest, the agents are trying to figure it out. And in a lot of ways, we have to kind of see how it plays out and just serve our clients the best we can and see what this really means. So I keep saying, I wish I could talk to, 2025 Jaydee and just get some insight there and just get some tidbits on how to navigate this with our clients. But all in all, it's a great time to be a buyer.
Yes.
Rates have been the lowest in 52 weeks. And because we do have this pause in the market a little bit, this is a great time, especially to be purchasing luxury. If you're thinking about moving up, now is the time. Because with nothing pending in Catta Verder, when we do get an offer, we're going to seriously consider it, no matter kind of what that offer is. We're going to try to make something work.
That's definitely a good point. If you're thinking about buying in an area like Catta Verder, some of the luxury areas in like Whitney Oaks areas in Granite Bay sometimes moves a little faster than Catta Verder, oddly enough. But no matter where you're buying, make sure that the agent that you're working with knows specifically what's happening. Because let's say you were making an offer in Catta, right? And your agent doesn't really understand the market there.
You're going to pay probably too much.
You're probably paying too much.
Yeah, it's not going to be very beneficial for the buyer. And usually also the good thing to remember is when you're purchasing in a place like Catta, the listing agent is usually on their game. Do not come in there with a new agent.
Agreed. People underestimate the importance of experience and knowledge base.
Yeah.
Tracking and knowing your stats and knowing your numbers are way more important than people even think.
I 100% agree.
You have, when you're running numbers, I often hear you talking about 12 Bridges, Catta. There's also Lincoln Crossing. When you're running, do you break them up? Are you running specifically 12 Bridges for 12 Bridges? Are you running Catta for Catta? Like, how are you running them?
So usually I do break them up, and that's because the market is so different in luxury. And then in Catta you have little villages that make up Catta that are always very different. You have Sun City, like you said. We're also dealing with some other 55 and up communities that are coming in. We got new builds, a lot of new builds. So for today, I just did 95648 as a whole, and we have 173 active listings. So that's up considerably from last year. So that's really good because for the last few years, we haven't had much inventory at all. We're still not at 2020 levels. So yeah. Pre-COVID. I guess I should say pre-COVID because it was kind of 2019. But yeah, 173. Oh, I can even tell you. And 114 are pending. Yeah.
What is the days on market been? What are you typically seeing in Lincoln for how long a house is taking to go into contract?
Okay, so that's also going to vary a lot too because those $500,000 to $700,000 homes are going fast, like 1 week, maybe 2 weeks on the market. But when we have houses in Catta that it's really not unheard of to be on the market for 4 months. And even in the rural areas of Lincoln, some of which are dealing with California Fair Plan, which is the fire insurance here in California, they could be on for a year, and that's nobody's really batting an eye on that. So I'm right now we have a 42-day average,
okay,
but our median is 28, and so that median and the average are not too close to each other. So that kind of shows you where the variance of that.
Absolutely.
So I was just telling you earlier about how the luxury market, it seems like you're either selling that house within 2 weeks or over 120 days. But really, if anything under, I'd say probably 800, you're selling it probably in the first, within 60 days, I'd say.
I'd say, especially if it's well prepared,
yes,
and well priced.
Yes.
I mean, what are you seeing as the trends of what type of houses are going quickly compared to which ones are sitting? I mean, is there a clear trend about that?
So if they are clean, if they're updated, if it has a good open floor plan, people like open floor plans. I have opinions about that because I kind of like it separated just a little bit. But those are going really, really, really fast. And it's kind of funny, and this is where a good agent can come into play too, because we stage our listings. I come in there with cleaners, stagers. We make sure everything's looking really, really good. There's no weird smell, no smell at all is really what we're going for. And but sometimes, like if you're in that $500,000 to $700,000 range, you'll just put it up on the market because you think it's going to sell anyway, and it does. But you don't realize that how many more offers or how many more interested parties you'd get had it been prepared correctly. And so preparing it correctly really just means that somebody walks in, it's clean, they don't have any. I like to get feedback. I say rate it from 1 to 10 on how clean it was. Rate it 1 to 10. Could you smell anything? Rate it 1 to 10. Was it presented well? Did the colors and everything go well with what you're seeing as far as staging? I want to know if there's anything that I can change too. I can't move a wall. I can't change if it's backed up to a freeway, but I can change if there's a weird smell or the windows are dirty or something like that. That's something we can change. Let's fix that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The buyers are picky right now. We are seeing picky buyers that want move-in ready, perfectly clean, ready to go houses. I know that's what we're seeing across the board. Have you seen any trend on houses that sit on the market longer because they weren't prepared, and what the list to sale price ratio is? Is it a substantial dip for the properties that weren't prepared? Like what kind of a hit are they taking on price?
Absolutely. If they're not prepared, I mean, they might expire. We are seeing expired listings now,
Yes.
which we have not seen before. I can even tell you, just last month we had 5 expire in Lincoln.
And in years past, there was like 0 expired. It
Zero
was like
expired.
it could be a crap hole and it would still sell.
Yeah.
Now you might sell your crap hole, but your crap hole is going to take longer and you're not going to get as much money for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it clearly can still expire.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so important to take that extra time to get it ready. A lot of times also, well, like people, I go to Home Depot and I feel like I'm the youngest person at Home Depot. And that's kind of weird to me too, because we're DIY people. We're always ripping out something in our house. And yeah, but I'm kind of the youngest person there. So if you're marketing like a first time home or a second time home to a younger crowd, like the idea that they're going to go paint a wall, you're looking for a very small amount of people that are willing to do that. And so if you're handy and you can do those things, I definitely suggest doing them. So just to widen the net that you're casting and the amount of buyers that you can pull in that might be interested to give you an offer.
Absolutely. Are you seeing, what are the typical types of financing? Are you seeing more cash buyers in Lincoln than finance buyers? And the type of finance buyers, are you seeing more FHA or more VA or more conventional?
So for a long time, if there was a cash buyer, the cash buyers were coming in and offering on our houses. And we're seeing actually a little bit less than that. Definitely conventional is going to be the biggest part of that segment. But right now, the offers that get submitted, as long as they're clean, we'll look at anything. FHA, VA. Now's the time to be getting in the game. There are less competitive offers that have cash, that are buying with cash. So now's the time, where before, man, if you were up against a cash offer, good luck.
It's interesting. If someone is looking to buy in a move up area, like a Catta area, what a beautiful time. Because in real estate, the whole goal is to sell high and buy low, right?
Yeah.
You usually can't do that in the same market. Like if you're buying right now, you're usually, if you're selling and buying, you're usually either selling high and buying high, or you're selling low and buying low, right? But if you're selling a
$700,000, $800,000 house,
or heaven forbid, a $500,000 or something, right? And you can sell high, and then on your purchase, you can buy low. What an incredible time in the real estate market to be in, where that is an opportunity. Not to mention, contingent offers were really difficult during the boom, and now we're seeing contingent offers be accepted on a fairly regular basis. So you still should do your prep work ahead of time to have the house that you're looking to sell be prepared and ready to go. So you want to talk to a professional before. It's really difficult. We find it really difficult. So if you've decided today that you want to go look at a house we have a great listing that you have listed on Monteverde right now, and say somebody sees that and they're like, oh yes, that'd be great. I need to sell my house. And you're nowhere near ready to sell your house. Yeah. That is still hard, and it's still difficult. So your best thing to do is, if you're thinking, man, my house isn't quite perfect for me right now, I've got some issues that I would like to, makes me want to move potentially. What a great time to reach out to somebody like Jaydee to be able to advise you of what you might need to do. Maybe start doing some of the decluttering now. Maybe start doing some of the purging. Maybe start doing some of the painting that you might need to do, so that if you do run across a property that you're like, I love this, I could see myself living there, that you're able to do that contingent move and you can be on the market in a week, 10 days max, and be ready to go.
I agree. I do have a 50-point inspection, pre-listing inspection that I give to all of my prospective buyers.
Yes.
I mean, sellers, that they can go through, making sure the light bulbs match, from cleaning putting that last little bit of trim of baseboard on, that kind of stuff. That's so important. This is what I suggest. First of all, we have some solutions for the contingent seller. So we do have some solutions that make you not a contingent offer. So we should definitely talk about that. But the other thing that we could also do is we could start prepping your house to be listed. We can even take the pictures and everything. You go out, you go look at a house. Your house is not on the market, but we have pictures. We have the whole media, all of our media files that we need done on the house. Go find the house you like, put an offer on it, and we can have your house up on the market when you submit that offer. So now it's not just a contingent offer, it's a contingent offer with a house on the market for just 0 days.
Beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's the best.
Yeah. So like, I suggest talking to an agent for sure to get that done.
Get those listing assets, those photos and video and everything done, because those things take time to do them right and to do them well.
Yeah.
So how far in advance, I mean, if somebody just kind of considering it, are you willing to have conversations with someone and get marketing assets and everything ready to go if they haven't even identified another property yet?
Absolutely. So first of all, I'm always open for conversations. It's never a bad thing to just give a call with no obligation. And then yes, we can go ahead and do pictures and all of that. I can get you boxes. We can start thinning out things. And then the pictures can hide a lot. We want it to look its very best, but we're not going to go take pictures inside the closets and things like that. So we can get your pictures. I can start making video. I can start having the print stuff done, getting a website finished up for you and that kind of stuff. And just have it all in, like you said, as a listing asset on my computer, ready to go. And, the nice thing is that if you did submit an offer, we could even put it on the market even before. And it's so much easier for you because trust me, when you are in contract on your new home, the last thing you want to do is be doing projects in your own home that you'll never enjoy.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of good for your heart too.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes it a little bit less stressful. Our goal is to get you the most money with the least amount of stress.
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't want to sound, but listening to us helps that happen. I mean, we follow the path. We have a path of success that we know works. So it's really important to follow those steps and to make sure that this is the smoothest process possible for you.
The other thing I just want to add to that is a lot of times people don't think about when they're putting the house on the market, but right now the trees look good. Things are green and lush and look great. There's going to be a small sliver of time in autumn when things are going to look really autumnish and fall and really pretty. But then the trees lose their leaves and it's bare. So if this is something that you're thinking that you might want to be doing and be moved into your new house before the holidays, definitely I think giving me or your agent a call and trying to do this kind of path and getting those pictures done now before the leaves fall is a good plan.
I agree. In Lincoln specifically, are you seeing concessions and repair credits being popular?
Oh, funny. You should ask because I actually printed out all my graphs.
I love that.
I know. So concessions, we are seeing concessions. I would have thought that the longer the days on market, we'd see more concessions. But actually, it's pretty even across the board. I mean, you can see this. This is graph 4. That you can look at, but you can kind of see that our concessions are pretty evenly distributed by days on market. And then, it's right here. Right here, we're seeing up to 6% in concessions as well, which is interesting. So obviously, some of that's going to be in repair concessions or a reduction in price because we can only go up. We have limitations on that, which also another great plug for a good agent. They're going to know about those concession requirements so that you can get the most money and capture it all. You would hate to get 6% of concessions and only be able to use 3 of it, and not know that until the closing table, or worse, after it already closed, that you didn't get all your concessions. But yeah, as you can see, still most of the properties are not getting those concessions, but there is a good amount that are. Look at all that.
That's great.
Yeah. So anywhere from 6%, the highest percentage we're seeing is from 0.5 to 1%.
So I love that you have on graph 5 that it indicates you can see from a scatter graph exactly what that looks like and what your likelihood is.
Yeah.
So yes, it's possible. It's not 100% guaranteed. The better prepared the house is, my guess is that the better prepared the house is, the cleaner it is, the more attraction you're going to get from buyers, which means if you're a seller, the better prepared your house is, the less likely you probably going to be of having to pay substantial concessions. So
exactly.
doing the things ahead of time is probably going to save you money all across the board.
And as a buyer, if you are hoping to get concessions to buy down that rate, maybe not looking at the prettiest house on the market is a really good strategy.
Agreed.
Maybe looking at one that's been on the market for a little while that maybe has pets or isn't quite done up so well, maybe doesn't have staging or as good as marketing. You really become an expert at marketing as you're shopping for houses, because you start seeing like the print material that you like, or the little video that you like, or the pictures that really drew you in. And I think buyers are savvy enough to figure out which ones marketing might not be super on par, and they might be able to wiggle out a little bit more concessions in that kind of a property.
Agreed. Are there any neighborhoods in particular in Lincoln, California that are more popular than others right now?
So there's a lot of excitement about some of our new home builds. I'll say that. Like Bickford's, they've been working on Bickford for the last 20 years. And but lately we've seen so many tractors back there for the past 2 years in Lincoln that now finally the road's connected and people can go drive up there and see what they've been doing and working on. And so we're all the buzz about Bickford. We're thinking we're going to get stoplights. Everybody's kind of predicting what's going to happen now. That's going to be a huge community. Right now, we've got Tri-Point Homes up there and also Toll Brothers. And I think there's going to be a Lennar as well.
Is there anything coming in Lincoln that is, particular for the city of Lincoln as far as growth or things like that are on the horizon that might make Lincoln right now a great time to purchase?
So we've gotten the high school in the last 4 years, I guess I should say. My son just was part of the first graduating class and he starts as a sophomore. So it opened 3 years ago. This is going to be its 4th year. 12 Bridges High School. We got the new high school. Everybody loves a new school. They're putting in baseball fields right now and doing all sorts of things. As you go down 12 Bridges from the high school toward Thunder Valley, there's going to be a whole bunch of new shopping centers and things there. There's a hotel. Sac State is going to be building a satellite school and all sorts of things are coming with that. So it's part of the master plan right there, right off 65 between Lincoln and Rockland. We're going to start seeing a lot of changes in there, a lot of growth.
Great time to get in is when there's growth on the horizon before it happens. So usually that is a total win as far as real estate purchases go.
Especially if you do have a family and they're growing up and you want to establish some roots. What a great time to buy now. You know that if this is an area that you're thinking about purchasing because you want to be in a new area in high school, how great would it be to buy over here now, get your kids into the schools, start establishing those roots, and you're here and you know that you're ready for a great high school experience with your kids and you've already been here for a while and got in at a good price.
What do you think is the vibe of Lincoln? What do you feel like? What's a typical, what's the community look like in Lincoln?
So the community, we like to think that we're a small town. We're probably not so much, but we are one of the last stops in Placer County before you get to you start going up 80 into Auburn in those areas. So we're the last kind of really urbanized town, I would say. That's Lincoln, Rockland, Roseville. We hear this, that we get lumped in a lot of times together with them. But we are definitely the smallest of the three. And so if you're looking for new shopping, new centers, new schools, that kind of thing, people are going to be looking in Lincoln. A lot of families, we have a good amount of 55 and up people, but it's a really good, diverse group of people with all sorts of needs that everybody wants to help one another. It's small enough that we see each other in the grocery store and it's a great place to live.
That's nice.
Some people have horses. I mean, we're still in that part of our growth period where people still have horses and live on land. And, but yet we still have highly dense urbanized areas.
What does the retail look like there? Is there enough opportunities for shopping and dining?
I would love to see more, and luckily more is on the plan.
Yay.
We have a Target, and that one's important. We have a TJ Maxx, that one's important to me. We have a Home Depot, we have a Lowe's. We have some great restaurants. I'd love to see more. And that should be happening in the next few years. We're going to be building some bigger shopping areas that will include restaurants as well. But you don't need to leave our town to go get your groceries, go shop. There's no real reason to leave our town. You'd have to leave to go to Galleria or something like that.
You got a Lowe's, you've got a Target. I mean,
yeah.
If they
even have a Ross.
If they have a Costco, I mean, that would just be
So Costco is right at the corner of Rockland. It's 7 minutes from my house. So right down Sierra College. So, yeah.
So one thing that we hear often is that people complain sometimes about 65, about the traffic going to 65. Do people have any other options really coming into Lincoln? Like, what's the traffic situation look like, especially with this growth that's coming? Is that an objection you're getting? Are people not wanting a reason to not come to Lincoln, for example?
So 65 is the slower of the highways. I live on the 80 side. So Lincoln is very wide. Actually, it's kind of shaped like a square, and it goes over 80 to 65 and touches Wheatland up at the top and touches Rockland and Penryn at the side. And because it's so large in space, it's actually divided half through 65 and half through 80. So if 65 is really bothering you, I suggest looking more towards 12 Bridges, that area where you'll do most of your shopping and stuff on the Sierra College and 80 side of Lincoln, versus 65, that's going to be Lincoln Crossing, Foskett Ranch, that area. They're going to have to fix 65. They're going to have to make it wider. And I'm sure that that is in the plans. I haven't looked specifically for that. But while this new growth is happening, I expect that 65 might get a little messier before it gets better. But there are different ways into Lincoln. You can even go up Joyner Parkway. That turns into, I can't remember what street that connects with Lincoln, with Rockland. But you can go up through the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, through Rockland. You can come up through Rockland.
Wildcat,
yeah. Wildcat and Joyner Parkway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there anything that sellers should be aware of when selling in Lincoln?
So I think it's really important to remember that when you look at the comps and the things that have sold, that is a fossil record. So right now, specifically, when we're going into fall, we're looking at comparables that were in May and June. And so they are going to they're fossilized, which means they're old. So we have to look at that and be like, okay, that if I had a house on there that was selling for 500, actually let's go 800,000. I would probably want to list it at 775 to be a little bit lower, because the market isn't as strong as it was in June and May, just because of the seasonality of the whole thing. So it's important to remember that those records, think about what the market was doing before, and don't just assume that you should just be priced as the same model that sold in June.
How far back are you looking at comps when you are advising a seller?
So the sooner the better. The closer to the date that we're going to go on market is always better, but sometimes I'll go as far as 3 months, sometimes more if the property is really unique. I just want to see how I'm trying to predict how the property is going to be received by the market and the buyers that are on the market. And so I want enough of a sample to give me a good idea of where I'm going to be. Sometimes the sellers always think that they have the best house ever. But I always like to ask the seller, would you purchase this house at this price? That's really interesting. You get some interesting answers when you say that. Their houses are usually beautiful, and they're right. It is the best in the area. But also we have to weigh in with what the comps are going. Like I said before, buyers are savvy. They're looking at the same comps. Nobody wants to overpay. That does not give anybody a good feeling. And so if you think that your house is, should be the highest priced house in all the neighborhood that's ever sold ever, it's still probably going to be pretty close to what the comparables are showing.
And you usually need good reason to be the highest price. I mean, what have you done? If it looks the same, what makes your house, you need to have something extra special to give it that extra boost. So sometimes that's things that we can't always see, that we need to, as agents, be able to showcase and be able to tell. Sometimes it means that they've got extra insulation on the walls that you can't see. Maybe sometimes it means it's got some new windows or new things or new roof, for example. So sometimes there are things that people have done, but if you've got an average condition home and you're really wanting the top price, unless you've got something really extra special about it, it's really hard. It's not us that dictates the price as the agents. And unfortunately, it's not our sellers that do that either. What they're wanting for it doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is what buyers are willing to pay for it. And buyers, like you said, are savvy and they're smart and they know what's there.
And if you do have that extra special something about your house, you really want to make sure that is marketed well.
Correct.
Because if it's number 45 on the pictures, you're hoping that somebody is, looking at all the pictures to find out that on, picture number 45, you've got this koi pond that's incredible that you spent, $100,000 on. So it's really important that you're teamed up with a real estate agent that can market those special things about your house.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
I actually just went on a listing appointment yesterday for a luxury home. The first 4 pictures were mostly of the 3-car garage closed. There was nothing special about it at all. And yet they were asking a lot of money for it. The first 4 pictures were different angles of the house, but 3/4 of the picture was the garage.
It's terrible.
It's such a disservice. We're in the backyard. They had this really natural looking pool. It was really beautiful. They were right next to an arena that the subdivision had for horses. I just thought, what a waste. What a waste of like prime real estate on the listing to be able to do that. Yeah.
Was that an expired listing?
Oh yeah. It was the only expired listing. It expired twice.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
You know what?
They get a list with you, and then it's, they're going to get that one sold. Is there anything that you particularly love about working in Lincoln or living in Lincoln?
Yeah. So I love Lincoln. I love the schools. The school system's been really a great experience for my kids.
And you have a couple kids, so you're pretty knowledgeable in this.
Yeah, I know about kids and school. I have strong opinions about their school experience, I should say.
For the record, something extra special about Jaydee. She has 8 kids, and they're phenomenal parents, and they do a really great job. So she's very involved with the school and involved, I mean, clearly going through 8 children in the school system. You know a thing or two about
you've seen
what makes a good school.
You've seen things ran well and things not so ran well, but Lincoln's just a really great place, especially in Catta, Verder, in my neighborhood. I feel like everyone is so friendly and helpful. My son started a business this summer. He's pulling trash cans out to the curb, and it's been received really well and supported by people. And people just stop and be like, "Great job, Holden." They know him. He's the most popular kid in our person in
he's a
all
character.
of our
he's a character
in all of our neighborhood. But I like Lincoln. I like being a part of its growth. I feel like I kind of got in the middle, but there's been people that have been here for like 20 years, and they are, they just can't believe the growth. And it's fun to be a part of that.
Yeah. I know that you specifically, one of your highlights and one of your specialties is being able to work with self-employed clients. Do you find, like in a neighborhood like Catta, Verder, that there is a lot of is it largely self-employed? What are you seeing the population?
I'd say it's largely probably professionals. I'd say there's a good mix there's a lot of medical people in our neighborhood, a lot of nurses, a lot of doctors. There are self-employed people for sure. And but I'd probably say that's pretty evenly spread. So yeah, there's a lot of people that own care homes and things like that too. So the medical, when I say medical, I'm broadly saying from doctors to care home givers and things like that. So
wonderful.
Yeah. In Lincoln on the outskirts in rural land, that's self-employed big time. That's self-employed land. I feel like just people like their big garages where they run their companies out of things. They usually need a lot more space. I feel like you can almost pinpoint who's self-employed by their garage size.
Oh, there you go.
So
bigger the garage, likely self-employed. I like that.
Yeah.
Are there any trends in real estate that you are seeing that are particularly popular in Lincoln right now?
So the newer modernized homes is really important, really kind of up and coming. The waterfall counters, I'm seeing a lot of waterfall counters.
Yes.
And we're steering a little bit away from gray, which
I'm not sad about. I'm not sad about it either.
Yeah, I'm not sad about that. A lot more browns coming in, neutrals and things like that.
I like the warm. You know what? I'm an older generation. I never really got into the cool colors. Like I never really loved it.
Yeah.
I've always been a warm color. It feels cozier and more comfortable. And I am not sad that that's coming back. So
my parents have always been gray and white. So I feel like I've always grown up with that. They started the trend, I guess. So it was out of style. Cool. Yeah. 30 years ago. Hey. But yeah, so the gray, I accidentally painted my walls gray and I wasn't repainting them. So we're like, I didn't realize it was going to be that gray, but.
What I love about you too, I bet your clients can reach out to you and you can recommend paint colors and you can, you're a awesome DIY family. So what colors might work and what colors might not work.
I've had several clients come to my house just to look at my son just stained our concrete. So I've had a client come over to come look at the concrete stain. And at the open houses that I have in my neighborhood, sometimes I'll bring clients that I just met at the open house over to see my floors to show what they could do at their house. And yeah. So we like our projects and nothing's perfect, but you know what? It looks good.
Nothing's perfect in life either. Yeah. So I
figure it's, it'll change eventually. The floors do look good.
They do look good.
Yeah. I hired that one out though.
Is there any particular businesses in Lincoln that you absolutely love to patronize that are like your favorites?
We have a lot of family-owned businesses.
I love that about Lincoln.
It is. It's really great. Sino's is a nice family-owned business by the Sino family. It's great pizza. We have Leatherby's. A Leatherby's opened up. That's a well-known
Everyone
family.
loves some Leatherby's. Yes.
Exactly. So usually in Lincoln, we don't have a lot of chains in Lincoln. We do have an In-N-Out and stuff like that, but most of the one-off restaurants especially are going to be family-owned.
How do you keep your clients educated on the market? Is there anything in particular that you do that makes sure that your clients know what's happening and are prepared?
So when you are a buyer with me, I do send out these statistical summaries and stuff so you can see exactly what we should offer. Like I said, I don't want my clients to overpay. I feel like that's a mark on my reputation. Heaven forbid they overpay. They really don't want to overpay because it's their money. So they get those statistical reports on what the market is doing. Sellers with mine get a seller's report every single week to show kind of what their property is doing, what other properties are doing. So I find that people really appreciate the data.
Data's good.
They don't need my opinion when they have the data facts. Like, here's what I would do. Here's the data. Then I'm not just showcasing my, opinions that are arbitrary.
It's not emotional. They're facts. These are facts. The data is factual information. So
yes. If the house has been on the market for one weekend, possibly asking for $10,000 in credits is not a great idea.
Yeah, true. Well, if anyone is interested in purchasing in Lincoln or selling in Lincoln, what is the best way to reach out to you?
So just text me. My phone number is 916-367-8885. There's 3 8s in there, so 8885. You can email me, but texting really is the easiest way, and I'll respond really quick. You can also call. You can call. Well,
absolutely. What social media platforms are you active on?
Super active on Instagram, Jaydee Sheppard _realty. And also, I'm on Facebook, just Jaydee Sheppard. I'm the only one in the world.
And it's 2 E's, which I'm particularly fond of.
Jaydee and Julee.
Yeah.
And also Sheppard is spelled wrong. I always laugh at my husband's, ancestors that were shepherds. SHEPPARD.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Jaydee is a great resource. If you are interested in buying or selling in Lincoln, absolutely connect with Jaydee. She's awesome. You will love her, and you will definitely be an educated client.
And I have guides for everything, so
I'm all about a lovely, beautifully designed guide. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Bye. Bye.